Whether you're initiating no contact or she's the one who's initiating no contact, which is most of the time, this video is vital because you have to understand the dynamics at play, what is actually going on, what is not going on, and the damage that is happening to the relationship as a result of no contact. Let's talk about no contact and focusing on yourself when you're trying to turn around your marriage and the danger, the consequences to your marriage of not having the proper contact with your wife as you go through the process. Now, stick around till the end of the video because I'm also going to share with you specific warning signs that you can identify right now that will tell you that your marriage is actually getting worse when you're trying to make it better. So let's get started with understanding no contact. There are two types of guys that will go into a phase of not having proper contact. One guy is doing it as a result of a traumatic response because he doesn't know what to say to her, or she has cut him off completely. And because she has cut him off, he just doesn't know what to do or say. So it's just safer for him to not even try to initiate contact. But there's another guy who has no contact as a form of a strategy. And I've seen a lot of online coaches propose this advice as well. And they say, just focus on yourself. Don't have contact with her. Let her miss you. Let her see you being okay on your own. And that is good for your marriage. That is going to increase your chances of restoring conversation and connection with your wife and ultimately helping and healing your marriage. Now, the danger with that is that the no contact advice is actually rooted in dating advice. It's a dating gimmick which can work in an earlier phase of a relationship, but not only does it not work in a marriage, it actually makes it worse. And I'm going to break it down for you. Now, keep in mind, regardless of why you're not having contact, whether it is part of a strategy or whether it's just a traumatic response because you don't know what to do or what to say, and you're just going to hunker down and focus on yourself and try to protect yourself, there is a danger to the marriage because your silence actually confirms the story she has about you in her head. It strengthens the marriage cancer that you have, and ultimately it causes more damage to your marriage. So let's break it down. Why is no contact so damaging to a relationship? Number one, because once a woman decides that she needs to have time away from you, she needs to have space. She wants to be on her own, whether that on her own is an in house separation or out of the house separation or a complete no contact. What is really happening in her mind when she decides that she wants her space is she wants to experience what it's like to be on her own. She might say she's doing it for the purpose of reconciliation or eventually getting back together with you. However, she expresses it doesn't matter. But the real reason is she wants to experience what it's like to be on her own. This is vital for you to understand. I would highly encourage you to click on the space video I put under this video so you can check it out. But in this video, we're going to focus on the two major mistakes that are happening when you go no contact in a case where she wants space. Number one, you're misunderstanding her need. You think she needs space to miss you. Now, as you will understand from the other video, and I'll explain it to you briefly over here, the real reason is she wants to test and see and explore inside her own heart and feelings and psyche to see and determine, how do I feel when I'm not around him? Do I feel less stressed? Do I feel more stressed? Do I feel less anxiety, more anxiety? Do I feel less resentment, more resentment? Do I feel more peace of mind or less peace of mind? Do I feel happier about myself, more loving towards myself, or the opposite? And what happens when you go no contact is you're confirming whatever image she has of you, because whatever the reason was that started her off on that, that's what she's left with. Even if you make changes, she won't be able to see it. And again, check out that video to get the complete breakdown. It's vital for you to understand it. But let's get back to no contact. What's happening when you go no contact is you think she needs space to miss you. What she actually needs is for you to make changes in a way that reassure her that you understand all the things that bothered her, all the little things that led up until this point where she wanted to have separation from you. And she doesn't want you to just understand. She wants you to be able to make changes in a reliable way, in a consistent way that tells her she's safe to come back to you. Coming back doesn't just mean physical, it means primarily emotional, to be able to open up to you and feel safe with you. In other words, she needs evidence that you really get it. She doesn't just need to be away from you. She needs to have evidence that you get it. And there's a process of rebuilding trust. And I'm going to give you a link to this as well under the video, the stages of rebuilding trust. But here is the main problem that happens when you go no contact. The main problem with go no contact is not just that you're robbing her from the ability to see your changes and for her to see that you truly understand her. It's worse. You're actually causing more damage by manipulating her. She can and will see this as a form of manipulation because the no contact advice, like I said in the beginning of the video, is rooted in a dating gimmick. What happens in the beginning of a relationship, there is a phase that a man and a woman go through, and that's called the limerance phase. The limerance phase is a stage where there is an infatuation, there's an overwhelming physical attraction, a chemical infatuation, and it's necessary in the early stages of courtship to kind of keep the excitement and the interest to the point that people are willing to uproot their lives and join lives together and move states and change jobs possibly and change what they've been doing and the trajectory their life has been on in order to welcome another person into their space, into their life. So it's kind of necessary, and God designed it like that for that reason. However, eventually what happens is that limerence stage starts phasing out and you start seeing different imperfections in your spouse where you wish they were different. You may not overtly be stating and demanding that they change, but you're looking at them from a perspective of, oh, just I wish he was cleaner. I wish she was more on time. I wish she was more aligned and congruent with what she says, yada, yada. My point is, for the purpose of this video, let's just explain that when a couple is married for a while, let's say 3, 5, 10, 15 years, and there is a buildup of a life together, you have shared assets, you have kids, you've spent a lot of time, the limerence phase is gone. Now, let me explain something about limerence. In limerence, if you go no contact, that can actually work. There is a real chance that it's going to make her miss him. It's going to make her be willing to even change or make changes in her life or in her personality or make believe that she's making the changes. And that can be stimulated artificially by no contact. The bottom line is that in the limerence phase, there is definitely a place for no contact in a case where the guy wants to create more interest, more excitement, more passion, more desire, and more pressure really on his girlfriend to reach out to him and from a different space and be more open to him, whatever it is. But it's completely irrelevant to a marriage. That's the bottom line. Because let's understand what marriage cancer is. And if you haven't seen that video, you need to check out the marriage cancer video. It's vital for you to understand it because without that, you're not going to truly get the depth of what you could be getting out of this video. You're not going to really truly understand what you're up against in your marriage. I'll recap it in short for you, but check out that video. Marriage cancer is a state where your wife doesn't truly feel your unconditional love. Number two, she is stuck with the wrong picture of you in her head. She has the wrong opinion of you and it's not getting out of her head. Number three, you don't have the ability to truly see small warning signs in your marriage while they're still easy to fix. You only see them once they explode and slap you across the face. And number four, in some situations, marriage cancer also causes you to have to give up regularly on your opinions, on your needs in order to please her. Bottom line is, when marriage cancer is present, what has happened primarily is that a wrong picture of you has gotten into her head. Now, that wrong picture might have been right at some point, and she may have gotten an image of you of being selfish, manipulative, angry, emotionally unstable, fill in the blank. There are hundreds of pictures. The bottom line is, if she has it in her head, by you going no contact as a form of a tactic, she can easily feel that you're manipulating her. In order to heal marriage cancer, it requires a unique approach. You have to truly understand what that picture is, how to address it, how to fix it, etc. Now, when you just go no contact, what you're essentially doing is you're completely focusing on externals. You're totally focusing on something which is completely irrelevant to where you are as a couple and where she is emotionally in her heart right now. And it can very easily be seen and recognized as another manipulative tactic. That now you're ignoring her. Now you're not reaching out to her. I'm not talking about a case where she said, don't contact me at all. I'm talking about a case where you did this as a method, as a strategy, because you believe there is some value in her not hearing from you or seeing you or observing or being aware of what you're doing. So let's explain both scenarios. In a scenario where she said, "Don't reach out to me, no contact," there's still damage being done for the first reason I just told you, because you're not understanding her needs. She's getting the space from you, but she's not actually getting to see the changes you're making, the person you're becoming, the best part of your personality. And she will continue to stay stuck with the picture she has of you in her head. In this scenario where you're doing it as a tactic, that she would be okay with some contact, but you're doing it because you want to manipulate some change on her end, what you're causing is pain. Now, listen carefully. Her wall, her emotional wall around her heart will remain. And pay attention very closely to what I'm about to say. It will remain even if she comes back to you. And this is a critical point. Even if she returns to you because she wants the companionship, she needs the financial support, because you guys have kids together, it just makes raising the kids a lot easier when you're around. Or she wants you to just help around the house. She just needs your physical assistance, whether it's as a father or whether it's just as a man. Her wall will remain because you have not changed. Because all you did was you went no contact. And that was the main thing you did. Here's an interesting fact. Most couples that separate end up separating again. You can do this research on your own. In fact, 80% of legal separations end up in divorce. And even from the not formal legal separations, most of them end up in divorce as well. For the reasons I said before, because she just gets to experience time on her own. She ends up being more relaxed. She ends up seeing that life is actually better not being around you. And she doesn't get to see the new person you're becoming, the changes you're making in your personality, in your character. So that's why no contact damages that. But in this case, where you're doing it deliberately as a tactic, not just because she asked you to not contact her, it actually causes more pain. And if she does come back, since you have not changed, it's only a matter of time before you go back to the cycle of separation again. And here's the thing, every time a couple separates, every time the woman decides to separate, her heart wall becomes thicker and stronger and colder because she loses more and more trust in you, and she has less and less trust in herself, in her own ability to even trust herself, to even want to reconcile with you again. So the bottom line is, if you use external tactics like no contact, even if you do get her back, there's no way you're going to break through the invisible wall around the intimacy, around the emotional connection, around the true loving friendship and conversations you could be having, because that wall keeps her away from being able to open up emotionally and intimately. So, what's the solution? The solution is to have intelligent contact. And this is really the solution that I work on with all the guys in my program. There are really three areas you need to focus on. Number one, you need to be able to read her mind. When I say read her mind, I mean specifically, you need to be able to see what exactly, on a very detailed level, is the picture of you stuck in her head. It's not a guessing game. You have to know what it is, because this is going to allow you to stop guessing and start focusing your effort. Because when you start seeing the picture she has of you in her head, you can stop guessing about what her actual needs are. If you haven't seen it yet, check out the subconscious communication training in the description of this video. Number two, once you have clarity on what that picture is, then you can start working on becoming your best version. The mistake a lot of guys make and a lot of marriage programs make, I've seen it in a lot of them, and I've seen a lot of marriage coaches make as well, is they will tell a guy, okay, you got to become your best self, but they have no clue what exactly that best self is. They pull out generic things such as working out, eating better, meditating, and having a better attitude and gratitude. And somehow that's supposed to transform your marriage. And I'm not saying those things are bad. It's just very, very incomplete, because you need to have specific guidance on what does it mean to be my best version. The way you get that is by actually understanding, in terms of your marriage, what is it that she sees when she sees you. So I'll give you an example. Let's say you were in a restaurant and you see a cat dressed up as a waiter, has a tuxedo, a tie, has a towel draped over its arm, and it's jumping around on its back legs, and it's serving, and it does a great job. It gets the orders correct, and it can serve you your favorite glass of wine without spilling. Would you feel that this cat actually cares about you and wants you to have a good experience in the restaurant, and it's coming from a place of service and kindness and awareness? Or would you believe that this cat was just trained? Now, the obvious answer, this cat was trained. Again, hypothetical scenario. Again, check out the subconscious communication video that's going to go deeper into understanding what that means. But that's what happens in a marriage. If you just do the right thing and say the right thing, but you don't become a different person on the inside, she will see you as a cat. She will see you as faking, as acting, as guessing. That's why guessing is so damaging because it looks like an act. And what happens then is that even when you're not being manipulative, can be seen as manipulative. This is what makes her not want to trust your changes. This is where she feels stuck. This is where the marriage doesn't move forward because you're becoming a better version of yourself, but it's not actually being guided by the picture that she sees. She's seeing a cat. You think you're being a waiter. And I know this is a bit deep. And if you watch the other 4 videos that I've given you, the subconscious communication, the marriage cancer, the rebuilding of trust, and the space video, you'll have a much better understanding of what I'm saying in today's video. The bottom line is you need to become your best version. That is true. You do have to become your best version. The third thing you need to do is intelligent contact. In order to have intelligent contact, you need three things. Number one, you need to actually see what the picture is in her head. What's keeping her stuck? That's what's feeding your marriage cancer. Number two, you have to become your best version, who God designed you to be, the best version. Number three, you have to take small, strategic, and consistent action in your marriage, which is why no contact doesn't work. She has to be able to see those changes. It doesn't have to be overwhelming. It doesn't have to be dramatic. It has to be small, strategic, and consistent. That's intelligent. It has to be quality interactions. It's not about the quantity. It's not about how much time you spent together. It's about during that time, did you hit the spot? And the most important piece, pay attention, is consistency. Because when you're consistent, she can start trusting you. And more importantly, she can start trusting herself. She can listen to her heart, to the part of her that fell in love with you, and be able to look inside and say, yes, this is the part of him that I fell in love with, but obviously a much better version, a more intelligent, more mature, more sensitive, and aware version. And I like this, and I feel comfortable. I can see that he has grown from the pain that has happened in our past, from our difficulty, from the conflict, from the misunderstandings, from the brokenness. Something beautiful has come. And those interactions got to build progressively. None of this happens with no contact. Whether she's initiating no contact or you're initiating no contact, none of what I just said, intelligent contact, cannot happen. Now, let me share with you an interesting thing that happened with one of my clients. This is what he posted after a couple of days of applying these three pillars. The turnaround just this week has been amazing. Understanding the inner cat, what he's referring to is the part of the program where I help guys see what is the picture of them stuck in her head. That's the vital part. That's phase one. Feeling the appreciation, dropping guilt. It feels easy and natural. The results have showed in the 2-hour conversation we had tonight. There were heartfelt moments, understanding, commitment, banter, flirtation, and a calmness that was uplifting. Thanks to God for directing me to where I needed to go at the time that was perfect. I can only see a great marriage blooming from understanding, from genuine love, from belief in each other, and the common goal of wanting the best for each other. Now, there was a lot of work ahead of him as well. And I got to say something which he did not write in this post. The guy who posted this, he's from Tasmania, was actually separated at the time. And there was an order of protection where he was not allowed to reach out to her. But as a result of making these changes, he used an opportunity, an opening that presented itself to be able to have heartfelt conversations, intelligent conversations. This is not just about sharing your heart and opening up and just being emotional. It's actually not about that. It's about being intelligent, authentic, and real. It came as a result of these three parts: seeing the picture in her head, becoming the best version, and then communicating that best version to her carefully, strategically, and consistently. And it's not about big changes, it's about small changes, progressively building in the relationship, continuously reinforcing to her and making her feel safe that she's in the right place, he's in the right place, and that this is a good time for her to drop the wall around her heart and open herself back up to the conversations, to the relationship, and to healing. Now, as we wrap up the video, I'm going to give you the warning signs I told you in the beginning. Specific warning signs you can see right now that if they are present in your relationship, you are actually feeding your marriage cancer and not healing it. Number one, if you're arguing over your changes, if you and your wife are having conversations or conflicts about you're not changing, but you say, I am changing. No, you're not changing. Your changes aren't real, right? That's one indication. Another warning sign is if you keep apologizing to her for the past again and again, you keep regurgitating and rehashing, revisiting things in the past again and again. Number three, you're getting frustrated with her. How come you can't see my changes? You may not even say it to her. You may be thinking it in the privacy of your mind. Why is it that she can't see and appreciate the person I'm becoming? Number four, you're changing too much too quickly. You've made dramatic changes in your life which may objectively be good for you as a man. As a husband, I'm here to tell you that's too much. If you change too quickly, again, check out the Rebuilding Trust video. It's vital. I know I've given you a bunch of links on this video, and the reason for that is because your marriage didn't fall apart overnight. Whatever pain you're in right now has been building for a long time, and chances are it has been building for her for a long time before you were even aware of it. She has been in pain for a number of years before you got an inkling that she was frustrated. This is very typical. It's not a judgment, it's a reality, it's a fact. I went through a similar thing in my marriage. I get it. But you have to understand it didn't happen overnight. It's not going to heal overnight. The difference between the people who turn around the marriage and the people who continue to fail is based on their willingness to actually study the topic, understand, and not go for superficial solutions. Now, if you genuinely want to become your best version, you really want to change, you truly want to understand the fundamental issues at play in your marriage that make her see the wrong version of you and what it means to be your best version in an authentic way, not just for her, but for yourself as well, you can reach out to me. I'll put my calendar link under this video if you want to have a conversation to explore what it looks like to work with me. But keep in mind, this is a conversation about you. This is not something you can involve her in the process. This is very important. If you need your wife's approval to become the man and the husband that you need to be, and you want to ask her if she agrees, forget about it. You're not going to succeed because every move you make will be subject to her review, her approval, to her authority, and you will simply not be able to build the independence, the personality, and the respect that you need in her eyes. This is for men who understand, look inside themselves, look in their marriage, look at their kids, they look at their families, and they look at their wife and say, you know what? I need to change. I need to become different, and I need to become different now. And it's going to be your decision ultimately based on understanding what we're up against. Number one, you have to be genuinely interested and genuinely want to change. Number two, you're making this decision on your own. Number three, you understand that there will be a significant financial commitment on your end to be able to get the help you need for your marriage. You can book a free marriage evaluation to have a conversation to see what will be the most appropriate next step for you and how to move forward.